Assalamu alaikum. Today on Nuran Academy, we discuss automation, RIZQ, and tawakkul, divine provision in the age of AI. If you benefit, please support by subscribing and sharing as a sadaqah.
So here's how we're going to walk through this topic together. First, we'll tackle what we're calling the modern fear, that anxiety a lot of us are feeling. Then, we'll ground ourselves in the beautiful Islamic concepts of provision, trust, and effort. After that, we'll look at the danger of getting that balance wrong. We'll then move into some practical, real-world guidance for this new age. And we'll wrap it all up by focusing on the ultimate source of our security, the unchanging provider. Okay, so let's start with section 1, the modern fear. Before we can find a solution, we have to acknowledge the problem. And that's the real anxiety that comes with living in a world that is changing so fast. And really, it all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? It's the thought that pops into your head late at night: if machines take jobs, what happens to my RIZQ? It's a completely understandable fear when you see headlines about AI and automation everywhere you look. But here's the beautiful thing. Islam doesn't tell us to just ignore this feeling or pretend it's not happening. No, our faith looks this fear right in the eye, and it provides a powerful, solid answer. And that answer is found right here in understanding provision, trust, and effort. To really get a handle on this, we need to dive deep into the concepts of RIZQ and tawakkul. These aren't just old words, they are our roadmap for the future. First up, RIZQ, or divine provision. This is absolutely key. Our sustenance, everything we need to live, is promised and provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Think about that. It was never ever guaranteed by one specific job or one company. Those things were just the channels. The actual source has always been Him and only Him. Now, this connects perfectly to tawakkul, our trust in Allah. And we have to be really clear about this because a lot of people misunderstand it. Tawakkul is not about being passive. It's not about just sitting there and waiting. Real tawakkul is active. It's about you moving forward, you making an effort, you planning. But you do it all without that soul-crushing panic because you're trusting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the final result. So what does this active trust actually look like? Well, it's a process. You plan, you learn new skills, you adapt to the new realities around you. You do everything you possibly can. And then, at the end of the day, you hand over the outcome to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's this incredible fusion of your efforts and your faith. But what happens if this balance is off? Well, that brings us to our next section, the danger of imbalance. This is where we have to be careful to avoid falling into the traps of either extreme, crippling fear on one side or lazy inaction on the other. And let's be really clear about this. The primary danger we're facing isn't automation itself. It's not the robots. The real danger is having an imbalanced approach to the whole situation. That's where we can go wrong. This slide just lays it out so clearly. Look at the left column. That's the danger zone. We're talking about fear that paralyzes you from preparing, or this idea of trust without putting in any effort, or on the flip side, pure effort that has no faith behind it. Now look at the right. That's the balance we're aiming for. Preparation that's guided by trust, effort that is built on reliance, and a faith that is proven through our actions. Okay, so we know the theory, we see the potential pitfalls. The big question is, how do we actually live this out? Well, this section is all about that. Guidance for a new age. It's a practical framework for every believer trying to navigate these times. Here are 4 steps you can take starting today. Number 1, prepare. Don't panic. Channel that nervous energy into learning skills that will be valuable tomorrow. 2, diversify your efforts. It's just wise not to put all your eggs in one basket, not to think your RIZQ can only come through one single door. 3, and this is so important, keep your ethics front and center. Earning halal is always more important than earning fast. And finally, number 4, make it a constant habit to trust Allah. Remind yourself again and again that your provision comes from Him alone. And I really want you to let this sink in. Your value as a human being, as a believer, has nothing to do with your job title. That's temporary. Your real, lasting value lies in your adaptability, your commitment to your principles, and the sincerity of your intention. Those are things no machine can ever replicate. And now, for our final section, let's pull the lens all the way back to the biggest picture possible. Let's talk about the unchanging provider. This is where we find true, unshakable security, not in the economy, but in divine wisdom. I mean, just think about this profound reality. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided for humanity long before the first factory was built. and He will provide long after the most advanced AI becomes obsolete. No machine, no matter how intelligent, can control the unseen. That power belongs only to Him.
And if you remember just one thing from our time together, let it be this. AI may change work, but it will never, ever control RIZQ. The nature of our jobs might shift, but the source of our provision is constant and unchanging.
So what's the final word? The future is going to shift. Change is a guarantee in this life. But those who can master that beautiful dance between sincere effort and deep tawakkul, they will never be lost. You can move forward with confidence, with a calm heart, knowing that your provision is, and has always been, completely safe with Allah.
Presented and created by Noron Studio.